This is the way of the future. You know, they are getting autonomous cars. I've got an Infiniti right now, Q50, that will stay in its lane, that will pull you back in the lane, will brake automatically if it senses that there's an impending collision. And this is a car that is, you know, $50,000. This is trickle-down technology.
Well, yeah, well, that's one of the interesting questions, because you have this awful job where you have to drive all these exotic cars and you get to see the newest technology first, but there's a democratization going on. What are people going to buy if everybody can have the same stuff?
Well, it is what's amazing. The new S-Class the new Mercedes-Benz S-Class has all this crazy technology, but it's already now available in the E-Class. They're bringing out the new C-Class, which they're going to show at Detroit next week. It's got a lot of the self-driving technology. So what's happened is quicker and more quickly, you know, you see, cheaper cars. Hyundais have technology that they used to see Mercedes 10 years ago. And it's true. So it leaves the automakers in this rush to do the newest, coolest thing. And sometimes I think it actually lends them to get them a little ahead of themselves.
And you know, Jason, there are some investors who are saying, who does this affect? The insurers. Steve Kuhn of Pine River, I had a chance to sit down with him. His big trade of 2014 goes short Progressive Insurance, as he says, say no to flow. Why? Because we're going to self-driving cars. Take a look.
I think cars are going to soon drive themselves, and therefore there's not going to be any more automobile accidents, and therefore there will be no more automobile insurance industry.
I mean, not going to need insurance. That is a little aggressive. But Saul, do you think...
No, it's progressive.
Do you think this is really where we're headed?
How quick is the question, but I think that this is a really important conversation back to this notion of jobs and everything that's happening, because all the technology that is enabling this is not being developed per se by the automaker. It's being created by other companies that are part of their supply chain. And it's creating jobs throughout the economy that we don't see. So this is part of that fundamental restructure. But I do think that this technology wave, it's happening in auto, it's happening in natural gas exploration, it's happening in mining, it's happening in all sectors. And I think this notion, again, about, you know, internet everywhere, as opposed to integration of everything.
Technology everywhere, on our bodies, on our hands, in our cars.
And it's about integration. So the automakers, I mean, this is a great story, because they're integrating it into an experience.
I'd be surprised, though. Let me put the brakes on, so to speak. I'm going to be surprised if we're going to see self-driving cars anytime too soon. And partly that's because of regulation.
It's just like, how do you,
You know, they're having troubles doing new headlights right now. There's these headlights that are coming out in Europe that are these great headlights. They'll go around cars and be really smart. We can't get them right now because our regulations don't allow it. So if we think that, you know, suddenly...
Why? Because we're worried about blinding people?
Just that we're so far behind on making some of these really important decisions. And I like to drive. I will say that personally, I prefer to drive. I feel like a safe driver.